I can tell from your body language about what's coming next. I can anticipate.
Jumper,
which is indeed much advertised, lots of posters.
Make the joke that you made when I said to you we're going to do Jumper, and
As
you
in
said
Cardigan.
Cardigan, that's right. Because Anakin Skywalker starring in and it's also the thing that everyone has made. So there we go. So not as in Jumpers for Golfers, but as in jumping, as in jaunting. You're about the same age as me, right? Do you remember the Tomorrow People?
Yes, vaguely.
Okay,
yes,
so the Tomorrow People.
Sort of science fiction-y thing.
Yes, the science fiction is the story about people who discover they have the ability to jaunt, right? They put their hands on their belts and they go jump and they go somewhere else.
That's mud, isn't it, in Tiger Feet?
Yeah, it's exactly. They look like they're about to do the mud Tiger Feet dance, but then they go somewhere else. So Hayden Christensen, he of Anakin Skywalker, and later of character who wasn't Bob Dylan, but was called Dib Bobden in that movie Factory Girl, he discovers he can jump or jaunt. So he spends a little bit of time jumping and jaunting into banks and, robbing all the stuff that he wants and then going around sightseeing and, carousing with women. And he thinks everything's fine. But then he discovers that he's actually being trailed by a scary-haired Samuel Jackson whose hair is completely white, except for his beard, which isn't completely white. Never explain why. And he's not the only one. Jamie Bell is also a Tomorrow People-like jaunting jumper. I love the Tomorrow People. It was absolutely. I used to love Time Slip as well. And really, this hasn't moved on at all since then. I mean, they've got millions more dollars and loads more CGI visuals. But it's directed by Doug Liman, who did Swingers and then famously did the first Bourne film, which isn't as good as the next two because the next two were done by Paul Greengrass. And I think actually that must be quite annoying to be the person that started the series that then was. I mean, it's kind of like being the Christopher Columbus of the Harry Potter movies, isn't it? The thing that you're remembered for is not doing as well as the people that came.
But remember, we learned from Jason Isaacs that your assessment of Chris Columbus is wrong. That he is not a bean counter.
Yep. Like Jason very much, but I'm the critic, he's the actor, and of course he's the better looking of the two of us. So many questions, right? Again, why is Samuel Jackson's hair white when his beard isn't white? I mean, is it like he contractually agreed to have the beard done but not the hair? Don't understand that. Secondly, why is Hayden Christensen employed? I mean, really, Hayden Christensen in the original Star Wars sequels, prequels, and he's Anakin, and the whole thing is that he goes through these two movies, he's Anakin, and then he's going to turn into Darth Vader, right? And which is decrepitude, awful, moral torpor, and then Anakin Skywalker's looking just a bit cross. I mean, he really has only two things he does. He squints, he pouts, and occasionally he bursts into what I think he thinks is a really winning smile. But to me is one of those absolutely cheese-eating grins. He's want to stop doing that. I mean, he makes Richard Gere look like the most versatile actor in the world. Richard Gere and his blinking performances just leave Hayden Christensen so far behind him. Plus, when you put Hayden Christensen in a movie with Sienna Miller, right? Sienna Miller looks quite good. Because, she's up against Hayden as Dib Bobden, and she looks like when you put him in a movie with Jamie Bell, who actually can act, I mean, no fixed accent in this film, but he can act. And you go, oh, hang on, right, so that's somebody who can act, and that's Hayden Christensen. And it's a 12 certificate, which is a shame, because really it ought to be a PG, because it's absolutely, if you're 12, if you're old enough, you're just going to think there are holes that you can drive a bus through in this. For the record, the BBFC information is 12A for one use of strong language and moderate violence, and an undetailed stabbing by the arch-villain in the film, but beautifully, one mildly sensual love scene without anything sexual in it.